Guys, the Chicken's here, bringing you another Boom Beach video. In today's video, guys, we are going over the Season 8 tech tree guide. Everything you need to know on how to get started. We're going to go over defense a little bit here too, and just kind of the attacks I've been using to be able to rank up to, we should be able to get to about 16 with our current setup. I just haven't grinded it out long enough just yet. So, let's just get into it, guys. So, and also, something I forgot to address in the stream, because I didn't notice because it was so early, but this season is only 20 days. This is the shortest warship season we've ever had, and it means that we're not going to progress throughout the entire tech tree. So, it makes it makes the first part that much more important, because we really need to use our keys very well, because there's even less room for error now with less time at the end of the season. You're just going to have that many less keys, so it makes your tech tree decisions that much more important. Okay, let's start at the beginning here. Maxing landing crafts, obviously that's going to be something you need to do. Shock bombs are early on. They're helpful, but they honestly don't make that much of a difference, so I don't think they need to be upgraded. They also cost a lot of points, so I would be wary on maxing out shock bombs. You know, your minor defenses, machine guns, mortars, sniper towers, mines, you might as well go ahead and max them out. They're not going to make a massive difference, but you want to have them because that's what's going to slow down the heavies. That's what's going to slow down the heavy Zookas and slightly slow down and maybe even take out one or two bombers. So you need to have those maxed out, and you also need to. The first thing that we're going to do is you're going to race to heavies and bullet. We'll go over how to use bullet with heavies and with heavies and Zookas. It's actually pretty interesting and it works really well, and I don't think a ton of people are using it correctly, so that's going to be helpful. So heavies, troop health, bullet. Bullet, you don't need to pour all your points into because he's so expensive, so just get him a level 1 or 2 and that's going to be fine. Troop health is definitely worth getting. You essentially want to get to the 3rd and 4th engine room as quickly as possible, and while everything about this season is just going to be about bombardiers, I was actually able to beat a guy with bombardiers just a minute ago, so we'll show you that in a sec too. But yeah, so you want to get up to 3 engines. And then here's the way you go. You want to grab the ice, the building health. You want to max that out, because that's going to be your biggest deterrent for slowing down people, because it, raises the health of all your buildings, so it's going to slow down heavies and Zookas and bombers. So that's going to be important. And heavies and Zookas has it's really kind of the meta in the very beginning is heavies and Zookas, because you're using split drops, and if you're just using heavies, they don't really do enough damage. So you have to use the Zookas behind them, and you're basically just dropping 2 heavies, 2 Zookas on the left, bullet on his own, and then splitting up the rest of the heavies and Zookas, going after the engines like that. So from there, you want to get boom cannons, because they're going to be able to take down the heavies. They're going to be able to take down bombers. Very important defense to have. It's also along the best path that we need to take, so you kind of have to take it anyways. I would spend the keys on troop damage. In my opinion, that's worth getting for sure. Again, it's going to help with the whole base race meta. It's going to speed up your time on your attacks, which is very crucial, even if you can only do it for a few seconds. I would not unlock warriors. Warriors are good, and they work, but bombers are better. The bombardiers are better. They're running rampant everywhere. Like, they're taking over the season completely. So you want to do everything you can to make sure you can unlock bombers as early as possible. Then you can kind of backfill your defenses and things that you skipped, like the shock launcher, multi-nodes, like this one over here. We don't need it yet. We don't need it. It's more important to save your keys, again, especially because the season is so short. Keys become that much more valuable. So you want to go boom cannon, medkit, boom mines, smoke, bombardiers. Then probably I would go to 4 engines, because that's going to be your next best bet. And then from there, we'll cover that in another video. But that's essentially like the core of what you want to start with. And it works really well. So next, let's go over attacks. We'll go over attacks, and then I'll talk about defense layout a little bit, because it doesn't make a huge difference, but it's definitely a few key things. So here's essentially how all the attacks are going to go. Whether you're either going to be using all heavies, heavy Zooka, or maybe rifle Zooka if you went the rifleman route. But they all work essentially the same way. So you're going to drop bullet, you're going to have energy drink, and the key here is you use the energy drink at first to get him up on the engine room quickly, because that's important. And as soon as he's here and this flare expires, he's not going anywhere. You'll use one more energy drink. Like, even if there's a ton of defenses around it, if you keep using the energy drink, he's going to be fine. And then while you're doing that, while Bullet's over there, I would drop your other troops, because the landing zone on warships, they're so huge, right? So if you put your flags towards the top, well, it doesn't, they ignore the flag because the flare is still active, but don't max out your flare. Just have it at rank like 2 or 3, so you don't have to use so many of them. And then, you know, they're going to come out. They're going to start walking this way because the flare's still active. That's going to expire. Bullet's going to stay locked on the engine room because he's already shooting at it. And then your troops are going to kind of do this thing where they walk off to the side, but then they turn and walk this way. So that's going to save you, like, I don't know, 20, 30 seconds from, like, having to walk around the entire base. Of course, not every attack is like that. Not every attack is like that. If the engine rooms are clustered, then it's going to be a little bit different. You're probably better off using all heavies. For the most part, it's going to be heavies and Zookas, but there are still some bases that are better for all heavies. And you can use all heavies the same way, where you throw a bullet against the one engine room, and then you just flare the heavies to the 2 remaining engine rooms, and it works really well. So let's see if we can get up to rank 15 live here, guys. Put all what we used into practice here. So again, we're going to start with Bullet right off the top. I'm going to use an energy drink purely for speed right there. Now we're going to go flare this way. And while he's doing that, we're going to launch out the heavies. And again, yes, the flare is still active, but it's not going to last long enough for my troops to walk all the way over there. So I believe, yeah, once the flare is inactive, they will take the route of the flag, so they will spread out a little bit nicer for us. Okay, that's looking fine. Now, I'm going to speed up Bullet there, just because I want to be able to use my own flares now, because I'm not really walking through the base that well. Okay, so there we go. We got Bullet. We got the first engine down. We got the second one down. Now we're just going to run over here to this third one. And you see we got a pretty good time doing that. Let's try to save these Zookas. Okay, that's why you want to have max Zookas, guys, for the damage and for the health of them walking over mines. So that's a pretty good time. That's a pretty good time. 3 minutes and 10 seconds. We'll see what Boba was able to do. And this is going to determine if we get to rank 15 or not. Come on, guys. Whoo! 3 seconds. 3 seconds. So, there it is. We got to rank 15. To get in the global leaderboard currently, you need to be at rank 16, so we're still a ways from getting that. But that's essentially how you're going to want to attack most of the time. You're throwing Bullet at one engine, and then whatever of remaining troops that you have, you're going to split them up between the last two and try to flare them like optimally between that. So let's talk about defense for a second. Now, this layout's worked really well for me. And again, it's a base race meta, right? So that just means that you're trying to take down the engine rooms as quickly as possible. The defenses don't really matter. They're not really going to stop anything. You're not going to be winning any battles because your defenses are really well upgraded or because they're well spaced. They're going to take down your base regardless. So what you want to do is you want to spread out your defenses, and you want your defenses to lead to nothing essentially, and then have your engine rooms kind of unguarded. Because if you just kind of cluster all your defenses, the troops are just going to funnel towards the engine room. We don't want that, right? So we want to funnel the troops away towards nothing. So that's kind of what this is. So the idea is to just kind of grab them and pull them this way, pull them up towards the corner, just waste time of them moving around. And then the mines are going to be spaced out, so they hopefully hit Zookas or Bombardiers, whatever that ends up looking like. So let's show you the base defense replay here. So this guy was actually using bombers, I believe, Mr. Tonks. Which is pretty crazy. Like, bombers are really early in the tech tree. It didn't seem like it when I was doing the preview, but they're before the 4th engine. So, I mean, that's within the first day 1, 2, or 3, depending on how much you're playing, that we're going to unlock bombers. And they're definitely going to be the best troop this season. So, you see right here, we're able to kind of pull the bombers in stupid directions away from nothing. Like the heavies, he wants them to go up there without flaring. But they did have to kind of turn back and go around, and he didn't get them in the exact path that he wants. Now, it's not going to make a huge difference, but if you can waste a few seconds, that's what most battles are coming down to, right? It's like, it comes down to like 1 to 5 seconds most of the time if you're doing everything kind of optimally. So, you know, he still took our base down with a pretty good time, but we were able to just make him kind of spread out and walk around in ways that he didn't want to go. So that was definitely able to help us out with that one. So, guys, that is going to be it for the intro to the Season 8 tech tree. I hope that was able to help you out a little bit. So, Yeah, and make sure to tune in tomorrow because we're going to be going over how to use bombardiers. I'm hopefully going to get them today and then play around with them tonight. I don't think we'll have any issues doing that. So yeah, guys, as always, make sure to subscribe and hit the bell if you want to be notified about the bombers as early as possible and everything like that. And yeah, that's it for intro to season 8. Overall, I'm having a lot of fun with it. It seems like it's really spaced out the best so far out of any warship season. So yeah, it's looking good, guys. As always, thank you so much for watching. That is gonna wrap it up the video today. Make sure to leave a like if you found it interesting, entertaining, or informative, and we'll see you next one, guys. Checking out. Back.